Welcome back. Thanks for being with us. We're talking about nutrition, food, and supplements. But I want to read another review for the podcast. Just found your podcast and learning from all the information you share. Love Tana's passion, such as when she was talking about people smoking weed. And thank you.
You totally threw me under the bus
for
on that
what you say to your daughter. Life is not fair, and this is what we do to be healthy. Enjoy how calm Dr. Amen is. Can you get into more parenting tips? 2, looking forward to more great shows.
Who is that?
It is from Game and Fun Penguin.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you for that, because he throws me under the bus now and then. I need the support.
We actually have parenting
You
shows
just totally ignored that.
with Love and Logic, with Jim and Charles Fay.
And we should probably get into some teenage stuff, because we've got a lot of teenage stuff going on around us.
We do,
now.
but today we're going to talk about
yeah.
food.
But when we'll
get your mind right.
So we're gonna just say this. We'll get to that because we have a lot happening around us at the moment. Not ours, but stuff. And so we'll talk about how we would handle it and how we are handling it, and teaching our daughter to handle things with her friends. And so we will get to that.
And in Feel Better Fast and Make It Last, there's a whole section on relationships and how to improve them. And the 2 things you do with Chloe that you've done for a long time is you're really good at active listening. Mm-hmm. So you give her lots of time, and you don't talk at her. You listen. Mm-hmm. And the reason she talks to you is you listen. So
and in her
that
words,
is so important.
Yeah, and in her words, Mom gets it.
So strategy number 1 in Feel Better Fast under nutrition is you got to give yourself an attitude makeover. Your attitude or mindset may be the single most important factor in feeling better fast. So many people, so you heard us talk about the elimination diet last time, which is basically eliminate things that could potentially hurt you and eat things that serve your health. And there are thousands of those things. But too often, and this came up last time, is when people go, oh, I can't have this, I can't have that, they really start to feel deprived. Mm-hmm. And then their 4-year-old kicks in and has a temper tantrum, and they give in to the 4-year-old, basically creating their own behavior disorder.
So I want to, this is actually so appropriate for how we're opening this up. So I had lunch recently with, is actually the mother of one of my daughter's friends. She called me and she said, of all things, I would really like some parenting advice, because she has a teenager who is not quite as easy as my teenager. And she wanted some parenting advice. She's a much younger mother than I am. So I said, sure, I would love to have lunch with you. And so we were ordering lunch, and I was ordering I was ordering a green drink and a salad and whatever. And so we went to a place that served some pretty healthy stuff. And she said, okay. She goes, what is that you ordered? And she said, I'm going to have what she had, the drink. And so the first thing she said to me, and this is a woman who's very educated. She's very strong, and she's very psychologically savvy is the word I'd like to use. She reads a lot. She's very spiritual. She's really, really a special kind of woman. And she said, she's from China. And she said, you eat so healthy. And she goes, does that actually make a difference? And I said, well, in what way? I mean, it makes a difference in so many ways. Like, in what way are you talking about? And she said,
emotionally, physically, spiritually.
Right. And she said, well, it's spiritually. Why does that make it, like, spiritually speaking, does that make a difference? I said, of course it does. It makes a difference in your energy. So if you're talking about prayer or meditation, or how you feel about the world around you, or how you feel about God or meditation or prayer and how you see things, it's going to make a difference. And it makes a difference in my energy and how I want to spend time with my daughter or my family or not. Like, and she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, but I don't want to eat that way. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to want to. I'm just telling you that it makes a difference.
Well, and if you pre-order the book right now and go to feelbetterfast.com, they can download your brand new cookbook, The 10-Day Brain Boost. And what I have learned is there is no suffering
Well, and that's
in
the thing I
getting
said.
well. And God gave you a big brain for a reason.
Well, and the thing I said to her is, I said, so what do you want more? It's really
Well,
about
and
what
I
you
love
want
the
more.
food I eat, but think about the advertising slogans.
Oh, it's
think
terrible.
about how they have brainwashed you to love bad food. So I'm loving it from McDonald's, finger looking good, have it your way. Open happiness from Coca-Cola. You deserve a break today. They're great. Frosted Flakes. And when you read the ingredients, these are not things that serve your health, that give you energy, that give you a memory, that give you good behavior. These are things that actually steal from your health. So it's like, what do you want? Of course, I want to give in to all the impulses I have, but they could hurt you. And an adult mindset, or, actually Chloe has it at 15, she had it at 12, is, does this help me or does it hurt me? And so you have to get your mind right. And both of us, as I alluded to, have been in bad relationships in the past. And I'm not doing it anymore. And I'm damn sure not doing it with food, right? So I only want to love food that loves me back. The reason our relationship works is because we're in a relationship we
love each other back.
That loves each other back.
Has to be mutual.
Right? That it's
mutual respect.
And you have written about this before, that neuroscientists have actually planned how to
There's an entire
hijack.
science, and there's a trade magazine talking about the science behind this and how they hijack your brain.
By hijacking your taste buds.
Right.
So things like the vanishing caloric density or meltiness, sensory specific satiety. Scientists are going after your taste buds, the perfect crunchiness.
They're going
texture,
after, they're also,
aroma.
they're going after every part. They're going after your taste buds. They're going after your visual, like they do things to visually stimulate you, auditory. They go after every single thing. It's crazy.
Right. And we tell ourselves so many lies, like everything in moderation, which is your excuse to eat bad. Relax, we're all dying. Why don't you have a little fun along the way? I'm just not encouraging it, right? I know I'm going to die.
And for me, it's not about that. I mean, I've been sick. It's not about necessarily the number of years I have on the planet. It's about how I live while I'm here during those years. It's the quality.
Right. You know how to make people live a long time.
I don't want to be on a ventilator. I don't want to be on dialysis.
ICU nurse. You know how to live. But, people also say, I can't afford to eat healthy, when the Harvard School of Public Health said eating healthy costs you an extra $1.50 a day. Yep. So if you just
cut out Starbucks, which is like $4 a day.
Right. So you're going to be ahead. I don't have time to eat healthy. The almond milk cappuccino I make you every morning in the middle of feeding the dog, feeding the cat, takes about 5 minutes.
Well, and smoothies are your go-to fast food.
Right.
It's a smoothie. It's
so
like,
why do you have to be so radical? It's because I radically love myself. So quickly.
Well, and I radically don't want to be sick again.
Yeah, cancer sucks.
It sucks.
And having it come
being
back
depression
3 times
sucks.
All right, quickly. Food rules. Got to know the food rules. And these are the ones I talk about in the book, concentrating on brain smart calories. So calories matter, but the quality of them matters more. So know how many calories you're eating a day, especially if you need to lose weight. Make water your beverage of choice, because 80% of your brain is water. So drinking a lot of water, don't go crazy with it.
Right, and there's ways to make it
8 to 10
interesting. So
glasses a
we
day.
write about that.
Small amounts of protein several times a day. Protein with each meal helps to balance your blood sugar.
And keyword on small, it does not need to, we're not talking high protein diets. So
Well, for some people,
High
like people who have
quality.
ADD, high protein diets can be really helpful for them because it stabilizes their blood sugar.
But not at the
But
expense
for people
of
who have
getting no
OCD,
vegetables.
for people who have OCD, then that'll actually make them concentrate on the things that bother
Right,
them.
but we still want you getting your fiber and your
Absolutely.
greens.
That's why, the Atkins diet, I'm a fan of it for some things, like people have seizure disorders. I'm not a fan of it in general because it's basically devoid of colorful fruits
Well,
and
and sometimes
vegetables.
initially to kickstart, get someone like on track, but you got to start getting that fiber and veggies.
You want to make friends with fat, so we are not fans of low-fat diets. There's actually a study from the Mayo Clinic.
There's a lot of
The
studies.
people who had a fat-based diet had a 70% lower risk of getting Alzheimer's disease. People had a protein-based diet had a 21% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease, and people who had a carbohydrate-based diet had a 400% increased risk of having
Because usually if you have a
Alzheimer's disease.
carbohydrate-based diet, you're eating a lot of things that turn to sugar quickly.
So I'm going to get myself in trouble now, but after the election we just had, President Obama, he went and handed out donuts and I'm like, the president that brought us beer summits is passing out donuts. I was like, not happy. And that's not a political statement. I'm like, come on, Obamacare should be about prevention, not let's make them sick. So, the healthcare thing is just such a mess. So we're fans of carbohydrates, but they need to be healthy. What does that mean? High fiber, low glycemic carbohydrates. So that means get rid of or limit bread, pasta, potato, rice, and sugar because they're all high glycemic, raise your blood sugar, low in fiber, but colorful fruits and vegetables. And, when you wrote the Omni Diet, you talked about 70% of a plate should be plant-based foods with lots of color and about 30% high-quality protein with a bunch of fat mixed in. So, let's see, what other rules? Avoid or eliminate things that could hurt you: sugar, artificial sweeteners, gluten, soy, corn, dairy, and choose organic, toxin-free foods when you can. And you hate Costco, and I love Costco. You just hate
No, Costco's one of the few places I actually respect, and
But you don't like shopping.
I don't like shopping,
and I love shopping.
I don't like shopping
and
anywhere.
So, but all
Costco's
these
the one place
organic,
I actually
clean food.
No, and if you've got a big family, you can't afford not to shop somewhere like that.
Right. So
If I have to go shopping, they're a good place.
Stay with us. We're going to talk about timing of meals, and we're going to start to talk about foods to choose. Use the code podcast10 to get a 10% discount on a full evaluation at amenclinics.com or on our supplements at brainmdhealth.com. Thank you for listening to the Brain Warriors Way podcast. Go to iTunes and leave a review, and you'll automatically be entered into a drawing to get a free signed copy of the Brain Warriors Way and the Brain Warriors Way cookbook we give away every month.